Okay, let's get this started here. There we go. So, this is how I add rules to the firewall when my server is under attack. Right here is a TCP/I, and as you can see, it shows the origin of countries of these IP addresses, right? So what it is, you have your rooms, your Camfrog rooms, right? Then you have your processor right there of your server. So that right there is a standard working processor. Okay? Even when there's a bunch of people in there, it's not too much more than what it is right there. Okay? Now when the server starts getting attacked, that increases by up to like 58%, sometimes 100%, and it'll just rock up there. Now when you notice that rocking, what you do is you go over here and you look for bogus IPs, meaning bogus IPs of country origin. I've noticed lately that the country origin lately has been France. So what you do is you just grab, we'll say this bottom one, this Australia. You just grab that one, right click on it, copy remote IP, right? Click it. I always have mine open on the server, but start, administrator tools, firewall, Windows firewall with advanced security. You open that baby up. You open that baby up, and that's what that looks like right there. Windows firewall with advanced security. So what you do is you click on the inbound. You go over to the right hand side of it where it says new rules. You click on that new rule, and the window will pop up. It'll look like that. New inbound rule wizard. So you go custom. This is where you got to watch now. You go custom. Next. All programs. Next. Next. Which remote IP address does this rule match? Click this IP address. Add IP address. Specify the IP address to match. Right click. Paste. Now, before doing that, I like to go back and look before I throw that on the firewall, because you're blocking these people right from the Windows machine. They don't even, their eyeballs, when they go to join the room, the server, it just sits there and spins in Camfrog. That's all I get. So I like to make sure. So I go back and I make sure. I just look at this one, say 5871. So it starts with 58 and it ends with 71. So I go back to the ruling, make sure it's 58, ends with 71. That's good. So I click OK. And I click Next. Block the connection. Right there. Block the connection. Next. And then it'll give you another one. Next. And then you got to type in, like, I usually type in a different keystroke every time so I can differentiate which people I've blocked today or yesterday. So like I just use an A, and I'll just put A in there, and I'll add it by going finish. Now when I hit this finish, this IP address is now blocked. Now I'm not going to hit finish because I don't know who that Australian person is. It might be somebody in one of these rooms, which it is. So I'm just going to cancel out of that. But once it's finished, you're going to find that it'll be sitting right here under, see in the middle, under inbound rules. So if I want to say I mistakenly banned somebody, now you got to watch out, because you can ban yourself out of your own server, and if that happens, the server company will charge you $10 to go into your reopen it again. So you got to remember which IP addresses are yours and which IP addresses are Camfrog's, because you don't want to ban your remote access. That locks you out totally. So you got to make sure that the address that you're adding to the rule is not a Camfrog address. That's why it's always remote IP. It's never the source IP, remote IP. And like I said, you got to make sure that it's
12 o'clock a.m.
One of the
it's 12 o'clock a.m.
Like here, I'll show you.
Buddy in your channel timed out. Buddy entered your channel.
See 172s? See this group of, oh wait a minute, there we go. Here, this one is 64. See the group of 64, 39, 64, 30, 64, 45? 64, 45 is a Camfrog bot. 64, 242 is the server. Now, that's where you gotta, like, most likely it's never an American IP address that has to be blocked on the, usually. After this video, they might start using American proxies to do this. Okay? This is what I'm getting at. Right now, I only seem to be blocking other country of origins other than the United States. Now, also let me let you know that you see these local hosts in here? Those are also those two, I guarantee, those two local hosts right there. See them as local hosts right there. This one. Those are individuals. Now, Comcast is providing, and a lot of the American ISPs are providing their IPs to be hidden for 6 months free. It's a service that's provided now, and they have it for free. So this screws us around when we're trying to sift through bad IP addresses because it makes it more difficult to find out who these people are. And I don't mean like who these people are, I mean who the origin of these IP addresses is, to see if they're malicious or not. Okay? So that's the local ones in TCP/I, in TCP/I, the local host IP addresses that are in there. And you can see as they join the rooms on the server that they automatically add to the, see there, the one just joined. Well, that's how that works. It automatically shows you as they join. So another thing too is, there's another neat little trick. You see, like right now, we're looking at the room, right? If I go over here to TCP/I and pick an IP address and I go close connection, by the way, that's the only thing you want to ever do with TCP/I is close connection and copy remote IP. You should not have to use any other feature in here. Even though it shows like who is IP, you don't need to go there because that's going to install software on the server that's going to allow you to connect to some stupid IP address that can show you the location, which is never going to be the true location in the first place, so don't bother then. Okay, so all you're going to be using is close connection and copy remote IP. Now, when you close a connection here, and you're looking at the room right here, and you close it, what happens is that room disappears, and it automatically pops up in the corner that this name has just left the server. Now, if you right-click on a name, on an IP here, and you close connection, and no names disappear off the server, that is 100% a bogus IP address and is causing your room to lag and stuff like that. Okay? Another thing is I have my Camfrog open on another window, and when I close the connection, I look at the Camfrog room to see who parted it, who just quit in the room. And then you'll see them join. I'll see the IP address join on the server, and then I'll right-click on that IP, and I'll go close connection, and I'll look over in the room really quick, and you'll see that prick, that poor bastard, get knocked offline. So I can tell that that IP is his with having to right-click IP the person in Camfrog. Okay? Because it's not fun jumping back and forth from window to window. It's easy to do clicking on one window and just observe the other window to see if the nickname gets knocked off or not. Okay? So once, so you can see right here, you right-click, close connection, and the name would drop out of the room here. Now, when you've added these IPs to the Windows firewall, you see at the bottom here, I always leave it open because it leaves me easy access to go new rule, custom, next, all programs, next. These IP addresses, add the IP, next. See, it's always next, not too many off, So always leave it open. So there you go. that's how you can try and, well, you're not going to try, you're going to be successful at blocking these specific IP addresses. Instead of just adding one IP, if you look at it closer, you'll notice that you can add multiple IPs in one rule, meaning you could have 10 IPs under that one rule instead of having one rule for each IP like I do it. This way I don't get confused when I unfortunately block somebody. I know exactly that that last entry that I did is that person's IP. Also, here's how you can look for IP addresses if you block somebody. I'll open up the Windows firewall again. You'll see the rules here, like those A's. I'll highlight an A, I'll right click on it. Actually, I'll just double click on it. It'll open up like this, and you want to go to Scope. And Scope shows you the IP address that you've banned from the Windows firewall. Once again, these IP addresses that are banned from the Windows firewall do not get to go to the server, Camfrog server, whatsoever. This stops them totally. Okay? To get to the Camfrog server, they have to go through this protocol to get there. And if you block them here, they're not getting there. And I've been pretty successful at this. So that's the way to do it. My name is Medieval. I manage the Single Exiles rooms, and this was for courtesy for MPM servers, as they were looking for a video to be able to understand how to block an IP. And here you go. This is what you do. 11 minutes, and that's a lot of explaining. So take care.